Hey, welcome to the channel. This is MacCam89, and I hope you brought some popcorn and your favorite beverage. Got mine here. Coke Zero, my drink of choice here. Because I've got a longer video than usual for you, because I ended up buying over the past couple months a ton of games from a game company called Lukie Games. Now, if you're not familiar with Lukie Games, they are an online retro game store. Located in Florida, I believe, or at least that's where the packages come from. And I started buying from them just to check them out. I'd seen some other YouTubers had used them before, and I really like their service. Games come in quick, they come in great condition. And the cool thing about Lukie Games is they actually give you an option if they have it. So when you click on the games that you want, it has a disc only, which is a little bit cheaper. And then they have an option where you can buy it complete in box. So it'll come with everything that a complete in box copy should come with. And it's usually a little bit more expensive. And depending on the type of games, can be quite a bit more expensive. So CD-based games, usually a couple bucks more, sometimes $10 more, something around that ballpark. If you are getting cartridge-based systems, I've seen some quite a bit of difference, especially in like Sega Genesis, Super Nintendo. The cartridges go for a lot less, but if you get complete in box, some of those prices can get pretty up there in price. I haven't bought any cartridge-based system games from them yet. That may be something that I end up doing a little bit down the line when I have a little bit extra spending money. But I did include, for at least my VGM box, I will be getting Sega Genesis and Super Nintendo, so that's exciting on that front. But let's get into this Lukie Games, because I've got quite a haul here, and I'm going to try to do them in a mix order. Plus, the other cool thing about Lukie Games is when you buy from them, you get points, rewards points, and they have a whole selection of games and accessories that you can choose for where you spend your points. And I was able to get a free game, and not only was it a free game, but it's a good free game, and very, very happy with that. I'll save that one for the end of the video. So for those of you that stick through this video, you'll get to see what I got for a free game. So that's pretty cool, because most other game companies or retro game stores, they don't do a reward system like that. And, you know, this is a plus for against companies like GameStop, because not only do you get to select the condition of the game, but you get rewards in which you can buy other you get other games for free. So depending on the points, and surprisingly, the tier system is really good. It's kind of a revolving door, so every few weeks they change up what the free items are, but they're relatively, even if you got a low points, like the free game that I got, I think it's great for the points that I had, which wasn't a ton. So excited to get that. But that's another plus, you know, over a company like GameStop, where, you know, yeah, you get the rewards if you pay for their membership and stuff like that, but it's not the same. They do have a point-based system where you can get gift cards, but, you know, they're kind of a pain in the butt to use and redeem. And the fact that when you buy retro games on GameStop, you don't know what condition that they're going to come in. They can come in nice and complete, or it can be a loose disc. You just never know. At least with Lukie Games, you choose whether you want the loose disc, save a couple bucks, or in some cases quite a bit, or get the complete in box. And you know, that's a great option, especially for those collectors that they just want complete in box. So let's get into the games, because we got quite a bit here. So the first one is a PlayStation 2 title, and this is Kessen 2. I obviously only got the disc version. This is a strategy game based on Japanese history. So I do like Japanese history, and I do like strategy games. From what I was seeing in the screenshots, it was kind of reminding me like an early Warhammer game for the original PlayStation, if you ever played those, or kind of like a Total War. I did try this a little bit. I would say that it's definitely a game that takes a lot of time, and I'm definitely gonna have to give it another shot. I'm not completely sold on it, but at the same time, I don't hate it. So it's a game that I'm gonna revisit, and then I'll give it a second chance. And that's Kessen 2 for the PlayStation 2. The next game is a sports title for the Nintendo GameCube, and that is NFL 2K3. Try to get the glare out of there. Sorry about that. And fantastic football game. This is when the 2K series was definitely becoming great again. You know, I would say that Dreamcast era is when their sports titles became great again. Unlike the football game that they did on the Saturn, which is absolutely atrocious. They started getting a lot better with that 2K series. 2K3, it's a good football game, but it started the early groundwork for the NFL 2K5 series, which I think is still the best football game that you can play even to this day. It's just an awesome football game. But that laid the groundwork for it, and it was nice and cheap. I don't have a lot of GameCube games, so it's good to add games, even if they're sports titles, to the GameCube collection. Now, the next game I took a risk on because this is for the Nintendo Wii, and we all know that the Wii system itself is filled with garbage games. But if you're willing to look, there are a lot of gems, a lot of games that just got forgotten just because of the nature of the Wii itself and the reputation that it had. And this is Far Cry Vengeance for the Wii. Not a very pretty looking game, but controls okay and is actually kind of fun. Controls decent enough so that you can have a good amount of fun on the Nintendo Wii and have a shooter and kind of a semi-open world. Not really. Very, very different from what we're used to in Far Cry games today, but it's semi-open, but you're kind of on a path, which honestly, the way that I just have open world fatigue in a lot of these games, it's not a bad deal. I will say, if you are looking for a hidden gem of a game on the Wii, go with 007 Quantum Solace. A lot of fun. I didn't include it on this list because I didn't buy it. I think I actually got it in a mystery box. I want to say Loved Again Media sent it to me, and I have a lot of fun. But if you're looking for an FPS, I do recommend Far Cry Vengeance, but another one would be 007 Quantum of Solace on the Nintendo Wii. Definitely a hidden gem. All right, another loose. I'm going to get all the loose discs out of the way first, and then we'll get into the complete box. And this is Deus Ex, and I believe it's called The Invisible War. I have never played this, but I do like the more modern Deus Ex games. I never played the originals, but we know them as good games. They're highly regarded, and I got a feeling that this is going to be a great game on the original Xbox. I have not been able to play it yet, but looking forward to this. Deus Ex Invisible War. You let me know in the comment section below of any of these games that you've played before, and let me know if I'm in for a treat or if I'm in for a bad time. You let me know. And a lot of these games that I bought, they're not cheap at all. I mean, they're not expensive at all. They tend to be more on the cheaper side. In fact, most of these games are going to be sub $20, especially the sports titles. My goodness, I bought most of these sports titles, I want to say for $1. Some of them were less than $1. Great sale. They're obviously looking to get rid of their sports titles. You're going to see this next game a couple times, and there's a good reason for that, and that's Halo Combat Evolved. I bought a couple of versions of this one, and in fact, through Lukie Games as well. So I ended up getting a loose disc version because it was cheaper. But I also did get a complete in box version as well. Just shifting through here real quick. And the reason why I did that is because a few months ago I did a LAN party that was very successful, and I needed a couple of copies of Halo Combat Evolved. And this is complete in box. Comes with the disc and manual. And every game that I've received complete in box from Lukie Games has been in fantastic condition. Better condition that I could expect for. Even their loose disc games, I mean, they're in good condition. They're not all scratched up on the back. Some of the games you could tell it went through one of those refurbished machines, but not a big deal. You know, they work fine and they look good. But yeah, I ended up getting a couple of copies because we did a LAN party back in February, and that went very well. We were able to I had two projectors going, one on one wall and one in the other, and we were able to get two full systems going. I'm hoping next time to get three, but we were able to get four on four, and we had a blast playing Halo on the original Xbox. LAN, everything worked like it did back in the early 2000s, and such a great time, and I'm looking forward for the next one. The next game is a sports title, also loose disc. You're gonna see a lot of sports titles in the beginning until I get into the other types of games. NFL Game Day 2003 was very cheap. I wanted to check it out. It's got Tom Brady on the cover. You know, back in the day, he didn't get too many times on the cover, but obviously, you know, he's been on the cover of Madden a couple times now. The next game is NBA Live, and that is 2000. And the reason why I picked this one up was because it has Michael Jordan in it. So they were able to license Michael Jordan because there was a long stretch of time where Michael Jordan did not allow you to use his likeness without paying him separately. So he owned the rights to himself. So a lot of those games, they had like a look-alike or a made-up character with his stats or his features, but you know, they couldn't really use his likeness. So I think in some games he was like a white guy too. So you just never know what you were gonna get. I think in one of the games here, NBA Live 98, I want to say. So I ended up picking up NBA Live 98, and look at this. Jewel case, PS1 game in fantastic condition. Manual disc is there. Great condition. Lukie Games. And in this game, Michael Jordan, his number is 89. And, you know, if you didn't know who Michael Jordan was and you popped in that game, you would just think it was just some generic player. In fact, his name is Player in the game, so it's kind of funny. But yeah, NBA Live 98 and 2000. The next game and the last loose disc I have is FIFA 99. And one of the reasons why I picked up so many of these PlayStation sports titles is I ended up finding Madden 99 in a thrift store. I'll do that video sometime soon because I got a couple of thrift finds, and decided to play an entire season. Originally, I did just a normal exhibition game, and the views on that went crazy. You know, I wasn't expecting people to really enjoy seeing these older PlayStation sports titles, but they did. So I decided to do an entire season playing as the New England Patriots and my boy Bledsoe, and people loved it. And I did a whole season, made it to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, and I actually have it all live streamed. So if you go through my channel and go to the live stream section, you can actually watch the games that I played, and it did very well. And what I want to do is with these other sports titles, kind of do similar things, showing off how impressive, you know, a lot of these sports titles were back on the original PlayStation. You know, I played NBA Live the other day, got tons of views, and very, very fun game. Extremely fun. Even for somebody like myself who isn't a huge basketball fan, I was having a blast with this. It was a lot of fun, and people seem to enjoy it. So I want to do the same with all the other sports that I got. So you saw I have football, I have FIFA, and I kind of want to show like the different, you know, because we're used to today, you know, you want to play a football game, well, it's Madden. But back in that PlayStation era, there were 3 or 4 or 5 different companies that were making NFL games, and some of them varied wildly as far as quality and features and things like that goes. So it's kind of cool to see those differences, you know, from playing a Madden versus an NFL game day type deal. So I talked about Madden 99, but I also picked up Madden 2000. So I'm probably going to do a season mode with Madden 2000 and kind of see the differences between this versus Madden 99. Also in great condition. You can see the disc, the case, excuse me, great condition. Everything is there. The box art, the manual, and these games were dirt cheap. You know, give or take their sports titles, but man, the conditions of them great. I don't know if this is actually an original case because it's got this solid black there, but still, everything is in great condition. The manual is there, the back art is there. Fantastic game. I do remember playing one of the NFL game day football games as a kid. I don't think it was this one. It might have been. It was either this one or maybe 97 that I used to play as a kid. So I haven't got a chance yet to play this one, but excited to see the difference between, especially now that I just completed Madden 99. See how the NFL Game Day series kind of stacks up. Now this is going to be an interesting one because this is going to be fun to do a video on to see the big differences because I ended up getting Madden 2002 as well for the original PlayStation. It's got a little bit of a crack on the case, but overall pretty sturdy. The manual is there, the back art is there, again in great condition. But I also picked up the PlayStation 2 version because this one, believe it or not, was actually less expensive, 84 cents. And when you spend $25 or more on Lukie Games, you get free shipping. So that's already, you know, a great deal. Also in great condition. Everything is here. Manual, the disc, back art, everything is here. The case itself is in fantastic condition. You know, and I'm not sponsored by Lukie. I'm not affiliated with them. They probably don't know who I am, even as a YouTuber, you know, because it's not like I'm a big channel. And everything that they have sent me has been amazing condition. And one of the games that they sent me, NFL Game Day 98, ended up going out of stock. They emailed me separately. They said, hey, listen, you still want this game? We'll put it on back order for you. As soon as one comes in, we'll ship it right out to you. A few days later, after I received my package, they were saying, hey, we got the game, shipped it out. Didn't cost me anything extra, even though they were shipping out a single game. Great customer service. They had offered I could have refunded it or wait for the game. I'd say, hey, wait for the game. No rush, no big deal. NFL Game Day 2000. Excited to see the difference between 98 all the way to 2000. Again, great condition. Manual is there. NHL 98. Also in great condition. Back art is there. Manual. Original casing. Game is in great condition. As a kid, I actually still own my original copy of NHL 97. And I used to play that game a ton as a kid. Loved it. So really excited to try out NHL 98. And when I was looking online to see, to kind of gauge what were the better versions to get, people were saying NHL 98, but also NHL 2000. So I decided to pick that up because I love to see the earlier versions of these games on the PlayStation versus kind of the end of life on the PlayStation to see the difference. Also in great condition, back art, disc, manual, fantastic. Now, especially since I'm used to in a lot of these mystery boxes, when I do get PlayStation games, they usually loose disc or the jewel cases are in pretty rough shape. And so far, everything that I've really gotten from them has been in great condition. Now, this one, I definitely decided to take a leap of faith I really enjoyed this series. Loved it, loved it, loved it on the PC. It was one of my first PC games that I used to play online. We used to do terrorist hunts and team deathmatch, and that was the Tom Clancy of Rainbow Six. So I decided to take a chance on Tom Clancy's Rainbow Six Lone Wolf, and it's a hard game. Let me put it that way. It's a hard game to the point where it's really not that enjoyable. I managed to get a few levels in before I kind of got really fatigued and kind of, lost my interest in the game. Maybe I'll give it another shot. But again, great condition. Has the manual. Now, when it says Lone Wolf, it is a departure from, your standard Rainbow Sixes, because usually a Rainbow Six, you got a team and you got to coordinate how those teams operate and work with each other. In this, you are by yourself, and it's kind of a little bit of a departure from what Rainbow Six usually is. Uh, but it was really cheap. Decided to take a chance on it, and yeah, it's okay. It's one of those games I got to give it another shot, and maybe if I got more patience and a little bit more skill, maybe it'll become a little bit more fun. You let me know in the comment section below. I'd love to hear your opinions and your thoughts and your memories about any of these games that I'm pulling up. It's so fun to, get a comment in the middle of the day of somebody who says, "Oh man, you're playing NBA Live 98 and oh, I loved that game as a kid and I still play that game." I had one gentleman telling me how he still plays NBA Live 2001 every day on his original PlayStation. So it's so cool to hear stories like that. And we're about halfway through. The next game is a Nintendo Wii title. I'm going to say this is a hidden gem. I have not played it yet, but everything I've read on this suggests that this is a great title on the Nintendo Wii, and that is Firefighter. In fact, there is a version of this for the Nintendo 3DS that gets the complete opposite. They say it is a horrible game, but the Wii version is apparently a great game, also in great condition. I think this is a single player game. Can't tell because the Lukie sticker is right in the back there. But look at this, fantastic. Manual disc, looks beautiful. Looks hard, looks almost brand new. That is Firefighter for the Nintendo Wii. I'm actually excited to check this out. Not really sure why I haven't yet. And the next game I ended up getting because it was fairly cheap and it looked interesting. The box art to me looked really interesting. It looks like a type of action, maybe an RPG type game, and that is Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire. And yeah, it just looked really cool for a Nintendo Wii. I'm sure it's gonna have a lot of annoying Wii type controls because a lot of these games they, felt forced to add in those Wii motion controls and things like that, and sometimes very unnecessary. But yeah, this just looked really cool for me, and not something that I had ever seen before or heard about. So I decided to take a chance. It was pretty cheap. So Dragon Blade Wrath of Fire. Let me know if you've played this before on the Wii. Gonna enjoy that. And getting into some original Xbox titles, I have NFL Fever 2002. It's got Peyton Manning on the cover. I actually used to play this with my little brother and my dad when he got his original Xbox. Again, comes with the manual disc. Art game looks mint condition. I did play this for a little bit actually when I got it and had a lot of fun with it. So looking forward to do a season mode with that. I'm not sure which game I'm gonna do next, so it'll be a surprise. I might do a mix. I might do maybe hockey or basketball, and then also do an NFL in between. And, do a season modes because hockey and or baseball and NBA, there's a lot more games, so it's gonna take longer to do those type of games. All right. The next game is a game that also looked pretty cool, and from what I understand, it gets pretty good reviews. I also picked it up because I noticed that it was 1 to 4 players, And I love any game that you can sit down, do couch co-op, and have a few buddies over, and that is Shadow Ops, Red Mercury. And I heard that this was a pretty good game. Looks like an FPS or third-person shooter. Also complete in box. Manual disc. Case looks amazing. Most of these games, like I said, they feel like they're brand new. So you let me know if this is a great game. From what I understand, it is a bit of a hidden gem. All right, the next game I know is an awesome game, and it's another game that I'm attempting to do a LAN party with. In fact, I'm probably going to end up doing the second one as a LAN party because you could actually do multiple on a single console, whereas this one you can only have one person per console when you do LAN, and that is Star Wars Battlefront. Now, I know they just came out with a remastered version, but I understand that one is not too great. So, why pay all that money for a remastered version that doesn't work when you can buy Star Wars Battlefront for the original Xbox? That does work. LAN works. I believe you can sign into what is called Insignia now, and you can play online still. Or you can play with bots. In fact, most of the time that I play this, it's me and my daughter, and we play against bots. Fantastic, fantastic, fantastic game. Can't say enough good things about this. Star Wars Battlefront, also complete in box, manual disc, all in perfect condition. Like I said, looks like it game brand new. So far I got nothing but good things to say about Lukie Games. Been a fantastic company to do business with. Next game is also a sports title. I decided to go the college football route, and we have NCAA 2K3 college football. I imagine it's going to be very similar to the NFL 2K3 game. You know, just being college instead. Also complete in box. And fantastic condition. Sorry, I'm not spending too much time because some of these games I haven't played before, so I don't really have like a huge opinion on them. But some of these games I have, and I'm getting into some of those now. This next one is a PlayStation 2 title, Red Faction. This is the original Red Faction. I also do have Red Faction 2, but all for the original Xbox. This is a great game. It is 1 to 2 player team deathmatch. The campaign is single player. I actually did a full playthrough, so I did complete this game already and did a full playthrough. It is on my channel if you want to watch and see this game in action. A lot of fun. The story, I think a lot of people like this game or remember this game as a nostalgia kind of type thing. The story is okay. It's it could have been a lot better. I think people remember this game a lot more fondly than what it actually is, but it's not a bad game at all. I had a lot of fun with it. Also complete, very, very good condition. Played no problem. Red Faction. I do recommend it. Like I said, you can check it out on my channel. I did a full playthrough of it. So you know it's not that bad if I ended up doing a full playthrough. All right, now getting into my favorite console. Got quite a bit of PS3 titles to get through. And this is my last stack before I reveal what free game I ended up getting. And the next game is Call of Duty World at War. This is the game that started the zombies mode that is ever prevalent and ever popular. Also complete in box. Great condition. I've already played this many times. In fact, this game is still active online, and you could easily get into matches whether you buy the DLC packs or not. Although I find if you do end up buying the DLC packs, it is easier to find some matches. Great, great, great campaign. A little bit darker than what the Call of Duties before it, but awesome multiplayer, awesome campaign, and of course it's got the zombies mode, which started it all. The next game is a Far Cry game, and that is Far Cry 3 for the PlayStation 3. And this is kind of, yeah, it is complete in box, but some of these games, even though they're going to be complete in box, they may not have a manual. This was kind of that era where at some point they stopped including those bigger manuals. But Far Cry 3, this is a fun title. I'm actually working on a separate video that will feature this game, and I'm not going to spoil what it is I'm going to be talking about, but it might upset some of my Sony fans, but that's okay. Just know that I'm a huge Sony fan myself, especially the PlayStation 3. But I like all games. I collect for. I have Xbox. I have PlayStation. I love them all. As long as they got good. Is Unreal Tournament for the PlayStation 3 also complete in box? Nice thick manuals. I want to say Unreal Tournament 3 was one of an earlier PlayStation 3 title. I did own this at some point during the PlayStation, during the time that I owned PlayStation as a younger man, and I remember having a lot of fun with this. So I saw it cheap on the Lukie website and decided to pick this up, add to the collection. This one actually pretty surprising. So I also bought this complete in box. It is Saints Row, I believe that's 4. And that is the National Treasure Edition. So this is the one that comes with all the DLC. So I actually did a video not that long ago about buying PlayStation 3 Game of the Year editions and things like that because they include a lot of the DLC, and this is all on disc. So this is another one of those that's not that much more expensive. This was only $4 or so more than the standard edition, and this one comes with all the DLC on disc. So even if you don't get it now, look at this, it's shrink wrapped. So Lukie Games actually has shrink wrapped copies, still brand new, of this particular title, and that's the level of quality that you can get with this company. But if this wasn't shrink wrapped and it was a used copy in good condition, I would still have access to all the DLC because it's on the disc. You don't have to worry about download codes and things like that. So, never played this version. Looking forward to playing Saints Row 4. All right, the next two games, I'm going to do them together because they go together. And these are amazing games. I do want to play them. I do have a vacation coming up, so maybe I'll start it during that time because these games do take quite a bit of time. And that is Dragon Age Origins. But I also decided, because it was pretty cheap to get both of them, Dragon Age Origins Awakening, which is the expansion pack for Dragon Age. So again, everything is on the disc and things like that. So I don't need any download codes and things of that nature. Now they do sell a version that also comes with both of them together on in a single box. But it was I don't know if they didn't have it at the time or the price might be a lot more expensive than if you buy them separately. That's probably what I ended up doing. I bought them separately because I don't care. But still get great games. They're very heavy, so I know that they're complete in box. It's got the manual, fantastic condition, nice and clean copies. Also complete in box is the expansion. Awesome, awesome, awesome. If you like RPGs, if you like kind of that Oblivion style or Elder Scrolls style type game, but this is more in the third person, fantastic game. It is made by the same people, I believe, that did Mass Effect. So if you liked those earlier BioWare games, that's going to be right up your alley. The next game is a game that I truly adore. I did feature it in a video that I have done just before this, and I strongly recommend it. It is a PlayStation 3 title that is not very expensive. I want to say I paid about $6 for this, and that is The Bureau XCOM Declassified. And I started playing this a little bit. And in fact, I love this game so much that I went on the PlayStation Store the other day and bought the DLC for this game. I had never actually played the DLC. I had this game back in the day. I beat the main story and never realized that they had DLC for it that adds quite a bit. So I hopped on my PS3. And nowadays you can't use credit cards. You have to load up. You have to go on your account on the PC or PS5, load money into your account, and then go to the PS3 store through a PlayStation and purchase DLC or games that way. Just note that you don't get sales anymore on the PlayStation Store, so you're going to be paying full price for whatever the games are or the DLC through the PlayStation Store. And for me, they were cheap enough for that particular game, and I enjoy that game enough that I wanted the extra content. Yeah, I would say this is a game that every PlayStation owner should have. And there are other ways to play it. You can play this on Steam. It is available, and also on the Xbox 360 as well. However, the Steam version, when I looked it up the other day, was $20. So, you can get a PS3 copy for $6. The next game is a game that every PlayStation owner has probably played and owned, and you probably own it as a remaster or a re-remaster and things like that. But I didn't have it for my PS3 collection. I have it, I think, on the PS4. But I wanted to have the original PS3 copy as well. Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I think I paid, it was like $1 something for this. Complete in box, nice thick manual. That's when they made manuals nice and good. Awesome condition. I actually did have a loose disc version of this that's in terrible condition. So for $1 something, I was glad to pick this up. If you don't know the Uncharted games, it's like Tomb Raider. Fantastic game, good story, good action, a lot of platforming. So if you're kind of not into platforming, it may not be your cup of tea. But if you play Tomb Raider, you play Uncharted, they're kind of one and the same. All right, I am a huge Sega Genesis fan, so I had to pick this up. This is the Sonic Ultimate Collection, Genesis Ultimate Collection. So just had to pick it up just because I'm a huge Sega fan. Love my Genesis. Also complete in box. I wanted to pick this up because I actually want to do some live streams of some games like Streets of Rage, and just a little bit easier to live stream on a system like the PS3 than having to hook up my Sega Genesis to my capture card, and sometimes they don't get along too well, so sometimes it's a little bit easier to just pop it into a PS3. Next game is a fantastic soccer game. And I do recommend this. Is actually my favorite soccer game of that generation. Some of that is nostalgia purposes. You've heard me talk about this one before, and that is FIFA World Cup, and that is the South Africa edition. Had a lot of good memories with this, with good friends and family. We would sit on the couch, all four of us lined up, and we would play as either the United States or Portugal, and we would try to win the World Cup. And there were a lot of laughs, there were a lot of yelling, there were a lot of blown moments, and maybe somebody cried, because they missed a shot. We didn't make the World Cup, and in fact, I don't think we ever ended up winning the World Cup. But we had a lot of fun, a lot of great memories. This is an awesome soccer game. Recommend it for every PS3 collector. It's got the manual, beautiful condition here. A lot of fun, especially if you can get a buddy or two to play with you on the same team. So South Africa World Cup, I think it was 2010. It's amazing how time flies. I remember this like it was yesterday. All right, the next game is a game that I enjoy. A lot of people probably don't enjoy it. I actually owned this back in the day on the Xbox 360, so I've never played the PS3 version of it. And I want to say this is one of the earlier titles, so it probably doesn't run as good as the Xbox version, but I'm going to find out. And that is the History Channel, Battle for the Pacific. I love World War II, and especially the Pacific, because that theater doesn't get as much love. And more recently it has, but there was a time where the Pacific Theater was very scarce to get games about. Or especially good games. And I wouldn't really consider this a good game, but it's serviceable. I would say, if you can get it on the cheap, add it to your collection. You find it at a flea market, there's stores and like that. Add it. I probably paid too much for this, but I actually do want to feature this either on a live stream or as a playthrough, because these are the type of games that I actually enjoy. I'm a glutton for punishment, kind of like some of these cheesy games. Early in my channel, I was playing the History Channel Civil War version, which was kind of a blast to play. So looking forward to this Battle for the Pacific, the History Channel. Back in the day, when the History Channel actually played history and not a bunch of reality shows and aliens and things like that. Speaking of aliens, I do have another PS3 title, and that is the Quake Wars Enemy Territory. I hope that this is actually a game that I can still play. I'm not really sure. I don't know if it's an online only game. I don't remember. In fact, I never really owned this game. I had the demo, and I just remember playing the demo over and over and over again, and I had a lot of fun with it. And it kind of reminded me, I want to say, of like a Battlefield type game, but in the Quake Wars universe. So, I'm hoping this still works and I can actually play this with bots or something. It is missing a manual if it had one, which I think this one does have a manual. So, not complete, but not a huge deal. The case itself and disc are in great condition. But looking forward to trying this out and seeing if I can actually still play it. It says 1 to 16 players in the back or 2 to 16 online. So again, I'm not too sure. Hopefully there is a AI mode or something equivalent to it. All right, only a few games left. I know this video is going a little bit on the longer side. Again, I'd love to hear your comments in the comment section. I do reply to every comment that I get, so I'd love to have a conversation with you. What do you think about all these games that I've got? Great deal. And to be honest, did not spend a ton. I know a lot of people are putting it thumbnails. Oh, I spent 506. I did not spend anywhere near that, believe me. I don't have that kind of budget, I got 3 kids and a wife and 2 cats. So, and with the way that inflation is, it's expensive. So, as you can see, I get a lot of good quality games, but they tend to be on the cheapest side here. And nothing wrong with that, as long as they're good, fun games, right? Next one, game that is not well liked, but I enjoy it. I don't know why people hate it. Call of Duty Ghosts. I love the campaign. I liked the multiplayer. I still enjoy it. I don't understand the hate for it. Um, would actually be nice to see a continuation of the Ghost series. I think the Aliens mode was fun. It's too bad that got the short end of the stick too. Call of Duty Ghosts for the PS3. Obviously, there's better versions of this. You can get it for the newer gen consoles at the time, the PlayStation 4, and of course, they'll play on the newer consoles as well. Call of Duty Ghosts for the PlayStation 3, also another cheap title. I want to say this was like $2. In fact, it was so cheap. I was trying to get multiple copies and they wouldn't let me. So, all right, the next one is in a game that I really enjoyed the first one, but for some reason I never got this one, and that is Dead Island Riptide Special Edition. So this is another one that comes with, I believe, all the DLC is on the disc or whatever it was that they had for DLC. I don't know that they actually released too much for this. I did not again play this one, but I did play the first one. In fact, I had a couple of buddies that we played co-op all the time. So I'm not really sure why we never got into this one, but excited to at least try it. I think there is a definitive version of both of these, the original Dead Island and the Riptide, also on the last gen PS4 and the Xbox One consoles as well. I imagine the graphics are the same, but may look a little sharper. And the biggest thing is probably going to be the frame rates. If I had to guess, this probably runs at about 30 FPS, whereas the newer consoles will play it at their 60 FPS. Also complete in box. Again, the case is in great condition. None of these cases have some grime or slime on it, or there's one YouTuber that says man juice. None of that on this. All right. If you've been watching my channel, I've been playing Injustice, Gods Among Us. Fantastic PlayStation 3. Also recommended it in my last video as a must-have, especially the Ultimate Edition. And if you also have been watching my channel for a little bit, you know that I enjoy the Mortal Kombat series. In fact, That's one of the few fighting games that I really enjoy. So I decided to pick up Mortal Kombat versus DC Universe, also in great condition. Now, I believe they only had a standard version. I'm not sure that they did like a complete version. But what's cool about this, what they sent me is, check this out. Not only did I get a complete in-box version, but I got a version that comes with a bonus Blu-ray disc. So I don't know if it's like a mini movie, if it's a kind of a behind the scenes, but bonus content. Wow. And none of that was in the listing. It just says, loose disc or you can get complete. So I don't imagine that everyone who picks the complete is going to get what I got. But look, also a mini comic book. And just kind of give you a snippet of it. But how cool is that to get that? Definitely was not. This is what I was expecting to get. Complete in box, manual disc. But to get that and not have to pay extra, that's pretty cool. So props to Lukie Games. Like I said, I'm not affiliated with them. I have no partnership with them. So you can see everything that I've gotten is quality stuff. Very, very happy with them. Very happy with their customer service. Very attentive. And all right, this video is already getting really long, so I'm going to show you the game that I got for free. So because I bought all these games, I ended up accruing enough points to pick out a game that I really wanted. And this is a Nintendo GameCube title, which makes it even better. And this is an awesome game. I loved this game as a kid. That is 007 Agent Under Fire for the Nintendo game. Look at this. Complete in box for free. Free game, free shipping. Did not have to pay any shipping for this. Complete in box. Nice thick manual like it used to be. I'll turn it around so you can see it better. And I know this game, it's probably not the most expensive game, but for free and in such great condition, I can't complain at all. Awesome game, by the way. This is, man, I had so much fun with this because you could do 4-player with bots with this. Such a great time. 007 Agent on the Fire, 007. Lukie Games, what can I say? Go check them out. Go give them your business. They're a great company. If you've had trouble with them in the past, I'm sorry. At least with my experience here, I've been extremely happy, at least with what I bought. I can't comment again on the cartridge-based systems and the quality of those just because I haven't bought that stuff with them. So you let me know in the comment section below if you have. How has your experience been with Lukie Games? Both discs based and also cartridge based. Have you got great deals from them? Have you gotten any free games from them? Let me know in the comment section below what you've got for free games. I'm also going to leave their website in my description below. That way you can go check them out. Again, I have no affiliate, so whatever you buy, I don't get any kickbacks or anything like that. This was strictly a video that I wanted to make. I gave them a lot of business. Extremely happy with what they gave me, and I got a lot of content, a lot of feature content, a lot of good games to play here. And these are all games that I picked, so they're games that I wanted to play. So if you made it this far, thank you so much for checking out the channel. Again, my name is MattCam89. If this is your first time watching my channel, be sure to like and subscribe because it does help a small channel like this. And as always, thank you, happy gaming, and God bless.